Hello world, welcome back to my channel. I am Sahil and I am creating a CRUD application using PHP-OOP, PDO-MySQL and Ajax. And this is the fourth video of this series. In previous video, you have seen that how I have coded in model file. Now today in this video, I will start to make this CRUD application functional. So I will code in controller file as well as in view file to send Ajax request to the controller file. So let's start. So open your project. Here you can see this is the project directory where I have created three files. The first one is action.php. So this is our controller file, and the second is db.php. So this is our model file, and the third one is index.php. This is our view file. Okay, so today what I will do is I will send Ajax request through this index.php file to this action.php file where I will handle all the Ajax request. Okay, so now I will first send the Ajax request to grab all the records from the database and display here in main page instead of this static records. Okay, so let's come here in index.php and just go below here. Now here you can see this inside this script tag I have used a ready function. Now inside this ready function I will define a function so all users, and inside this function I will use Ajax code to send a request to the action.php. so here I will write URL, and here just I'm writing action.php, and I will use type post. Okay, and I will send some data. So I am just sending a simple string action, and string is view. Now success, this is the success function, and just pass a response parameter here. Now using this response parameter we will get the response from the action.php. okay, so for now I will just use here console.log and then just write response here, save this, and just call this so all users function here. Okay, now just go to action.php. now to grab the request that is sent by index.php in action.php, we first have to include this db.php file, that is our model file. Okay, so all the here you can see in db.php I have defined a class database, and all the method are present inside this class. Okay, just remove these two lines. Okay, we will create the object here in action.php of this database class. Okay, so first just use require once and then just include this db.php file here. Okay, now what I will do next is create object of database class. Okay, so here $db equal to new, then database class name. Okay, now our object of database class is created. Now I will grab the request that is sent by index.php here in action.php. so for this I will use if statement and then it's set function. Okay, now here I will use this super global variable post, and here I will write action, and then I will use and operator, and then again I will use super global variable post, and again I will write here action, and then equal to view. Okay, I have written this because here you can see I have sent a string in action equal to view here in action.php. okay, that's why I am checking that in action there is a string that is view is coming in action.php. So if this if statement is true, then only it will be executed. okay, so now here what I will do is just create a variable output. okay, output equal to and assign empty value here. Now declare one more variable data, and then I will just call this read just call this read method that is defined in this db.php, and this read method will fetch all the records from the database and return. Okay, so here I will use this variable data, and using this db object I will call read method. okay, read method. Now if I just use printer and just pass data variable here to check is this working or not, then just come here and just open our console and refresh. okay, so here you can see just remove errors, and here you can see one record is displaying in console because in database only one record is present. okay, if we insert another record, then let's see. So here just I'm writing user 1 title 1 and email user1 gmail.com, and here some random phone number. okay, click on go. Now here if we just refresh, then here we are getting 2 records in array. okay, so this is working fine. Now let's remove this, and now what I will do is I will again use an if statement, and I will call the total row count method to check if total row count is greater than 0, then only will send the data in table in this index.php. okay, so if there is no data there is no record present in database, then we will display some message. okay, so for this just use here output variable again. okay, and now this time I will concatenate this output variable, and then just come to the index.php file. okay, and here you can see I have this table. Inside this table I have created some static records. okay, so I will just cut this table from body, just cut it from here and go to the action.php and just paste it here. okay, now I will use for each loop here, and just write data and row here. Now inside this for each loop I will again use output variable and concatenate again. okay, now just come back again to index.php. now this time I will just copy this, cut this and paste here. okay, and now I will use the td to display all the column value. So just use td, and then inside here using this row I will first use id column here, then second first underscore name. Okay, first name and then last name, then email, then phone. Okay, and then go to here and just remove all this from here, and now just cut these icon buttons from here and go to action.php, just paste it here. Okay, just set the alignment properly. Okay, now just close the tr tag here. Okay, now just outside from this for each loop I will just again use this output variable concatenate again, and this time I will close the tbody tag and then table tag. Okay, table tag. Now I will use echo and then I will echo the output variable here, and inside out of this if statement I will use else. So if there is no record present in database, then we will display some message in this else part. So here I will use h3 tag. Okay, h3, and then just close this h3 here, use some bootstrap class here like text center and text secondary and margin top 5. Okay, and here just write the message like this: no any user present in the database. Okay, just close this statement, save this and go to index.php, just remove this from here. Now here you can see this div has an id with value so user. Okay, so we will use this id here inside this success function. Okay, so just comment this, and now what I will do here is just use this so user id and then use HTML method. Okay, and pass the response here. So these are the response that will come from action.php here in success function, and we will use this response to get the response that is coming from server. Okay, and we will just print in this div, that is so user div. Here you can see this is the so user div. Okay, so we will just print here inside this div. Okay, now if we just save this and go to browser and refresh, then here we are getting 2 records. Okay, here, because here in database there are 2 records are present. Okay, now here you can see the data table are not working. So for this we have to just remove this from here, and paste it here. Okay, if we save this and go to the browser and refresh, then here you can see the data table is working. Okay, now here you can see the last record is, sorry, the first record is displaying at the top, and I want to display the current record, okay, in the top of the table. Okay, so for this here, just use a object order, and here I will use the array and write 0 here, and then use dsc. Okay, and save this and go to the browser and refresh. Then here we are getting the current record at the top. Okay, so this is working fine. Now let's send another request to insert the data from the model, from this model, into the database. Okay, so for this, first we will send a request to this action.php. okay, so let's come here, and here I will just write insert Ajax request, just comment this, and now here I will write so here I will just use this insert id, and here I will use click function, and sorry, then I will pass an argument e. So here you can see in model I have a submit button with id insert. Okay, so I am just targeting this button using this id insert. Okay, so whenever we click on this this button, then we will send all the input field values to this action.php. okay, so for this so if we send the data, if we send the form data through Ajax, then the HTML5 validation will not work. So we have to manually validate using Jquery. Okay, so for this I will again use I will use if statement here, and then using this $sign I will select the form tag. So here you can see in form tag I have used an id, and in id I have given the value form data. Okay, so using this id form data, I will just grab the form tag. Okay, so just here I will that's why I have written has form data, and then I will use a method check validity. Okay, so just write 0 within this big bracket, and then write check validity. Okay, so this method will check the HTML5 default validation, and then inside this we will use this e.prevent default method. Okay, now this prevent default method will stop to submit the form. Okay, so just now I will use Ajax. Now again use URL. So we are sending this request to action.php, so just write, and then type will be post. So just write post here, and then data. So we are sending all the input field values. Okay, so to grab all the input field value, we have to select the form again. So just write form dash data, and then I will use a method serialize. Okay, now this serialize method will grab all the input field values in array. Okay, and then I will also send an extra string. So I will concatenate and then I will use and action equal to insert. Okay, now here also I will use success function. So just write success function and then pass a response parameter here, and then here I will just handle the data that is coming from the server. Okay, so just for now I will use console.log and then just write response here. Now go to action.php and here I will write the business logic for inserting data into the database. Okay, so here I will use if statement, then it's set method, and then here I will use again super global variable post and then action, and then again and operator post action equal to insert. Okay, now if this will true, then only this if statement will execute. Now here I will grab all the input field values and store in variable. Okay, so for first name I will create a variable app name equal to, then I will use super global variable post method, and then I will write app name. Okay, and why I have written app name here, because in index.php if we go to the form and then see in each input field I have an attribute name. Okay, and this attribute contains a value app name, and here you can see lname, email and phone. Okay, so we are using this value here in action.php to get the value and store in this variable. Okay, so similarly like this we will also grab the value of last name, so lname, and then for email just write email, and for phone just duplicate this and just write phone here. Okay, now all the values are stored in these variable. Now just call the insert method that is defined inside this db.php. Here you can see this, the insert method is defined here, and here you can see some parameters are passed here. So we have to pass these parameters, actual parameter, in here in calling. So just use this db object and call the insert method. Now just pass all the variable that I have just declared here, app name, lname and email and phone variable. Okay, now if we save this and now go to the browser and refresh here, now try to insert an user. Okay, so now click on add new user, and here just write some user to title to user2@gmail.com and random phone number. Click on add user. Nothing is happening here. Just go to the database and check. So here you can see the user2 is inserted in database, but here there is nothing happening. So let's come back here in index.php. now what I will do here is I will just hide this model when we click on add user. Okay, and we will also display the alert that SweetAlert that user added successfully, and we will also reset the model all input fields. Okay, so just remove this console.log. now here I will first display the SweetAlert. So just write as WAL fire, and then as object I will just use here title. Okay, title. So in title I will write user added successfully. Okay, and type will be success. Type will be success. Now I will also hide the model. So for this we have to select the model. So our model ID is add model. Okay, so we have to select add model and then just use model and then hide. Okay, we will also reset the input fields. So we have to select the form tag again using this form data ID, and then just use reset function, and also just use this show all users, call this show all users method that I have already defined here. Okay, now just save this, go to the browser and refresh. Now just click on add new user, and if we just click on add user, then the validation is working. Okay, now just type user3 and title 3 user3 @gmail.com, and if I click on add user, then we are getting this user added successfully SweetAlert, and when I click OK, then the current user is displaying at the top. Okay, so if we just again go here and type user for title 4 user 4 @gmail.com and click on add user, then it is working fine. Okay, here you can see the user 4, and in database also the records is inserted. So that's it for this video. Now in next video I will show you how to work on rest of the operation. So thank you for watching this video. Please like and share this video, and if you are new to this channel, then please subscribe this channel also, and see you in the next video.